Welcome back everybody, Bastion here, and the first trailer for The Last Jedi has finally dropped. I am assuming you have already seen it multiple times. So I thought I'd do a scene by scene breakdown and see if we can do some detective work here and try and figure out what little we can. Of course we're not going to be able to figure out anything groundbreaking by seeing a trailer, but we might be able to get a certain vibe for things, or at least some inclination of where things might be going. So let's jump in. We have your classic scene of we're in space, look at all the stars, which fades into, and tell me if I am the only one, but does that look like that stone that Rey places her hand on is CGI? And clearly Rey is in a state of distress here. Her hair and brow are covered with sweat, and there is a cave behind her. She's been through some kind of ordeal, most likely part of her training, and it will probably be very reminiscent of Luke's ordeal on Dagobah when he faced Vader. Now, we can only guess at what Rey encountered, a vision from her past, a possible encounter she has in the future with Kylo or Snoke, somebody she cares for dying, or she just connected to the Force again and freaked out like she freaked out in The Force Awakens. But this time she has nowhere to run off to because she'd fall off a cliff if she did. Lucasfilm logo, just in case you forgot who made all this stuff up. We hear Luke telling her to breathe as we see some nice shots of Skellig Island on Ahch-To. I like this bird's eye view here. That's some nice cinematography there. Rey staring out at the ocean, meditating maybe, or trying to wind down after a long day of training. We never really got to see it at the end of The Force Awakens, but remember where Rey comes from. She spent most of her life on Jakku. This might be quite a sight for her to take in. So much water everywhere. Water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. So just like on Takodana, Ahch-To would seem like a paradise compared to Jakku. And interestingly enough, we have this scene here of Rey raising some stones with her force powers, which has been rumored for quite a while now, proving that not all rumors are bullshit. Just most of them are, like 95% or so. Luke asks Rey what does she see, and we move on to this scene of General Leia Organa looking at a map of some star systems. If the Resistance is indeed being hunted down by the First Order, maybe she's planning an escape route, or simply looking at star systems who may join them or who have already fallen to the First Order. You can just make out "You're my only hope" being said in the background, before Rey answers Luke's question with light. Kylo's broken mask appears, you can hear Vader's breathing in the background, followed by a voice saying, "defeats the dark side." So adding Rey's first part of her answer, we get light defeats the dark side, and then Rey answers, darkness. Now, Kylo is rumored to appear mostly without his helmet in The Last Jedi, so did he immediately chuck another hissy fit and destroy his helmet after waking up from his defeat at the hands of Rey? Does he have another major setback in this movie later on and destroys it? Does he maybe encounter Luke and Luke destroys it with Force Lightning? How cool would that be? Or is he simply fed up with wearing a mask and decides to do things differently? This is most likely the interior of the rumored Jedi tree found on Ahch-To, with some sort of altar and what looks like some ancient books and scrolls sitting on there. So Luke's been doing some serious studying. Next scene, someone places their right hand on one of the books, and we have that interesting symbol there, which looks very similar to this image here of the Last Jedi poster, which by the way looks amazing. I love it. What do you guys think of it? Rey doing some lightsaber training on Ahch-To while Luke looks on. And it looks like a good amount of time will be spent on Ahch-To between Rey and Luke, which is a good thing in my opinion. Flesh Rey's character out some more and give us some time with Luke, dropping some truth bombs for all of us to soak in. Now here's a very interesting detail. Rey just answered Luke's question of what does she see with light, darkness, a balance. And Luke tells her it's so much bigger. Looks like the rumors that Luke found info on the original Jedi and that the more recent Jedi had it all wrong are indeed true. Another rumored scene turns up. The Resistance meeting an attack from the First Order on the planet of Crete or Crate. I've seen it written both ways, so I'm not sure which one is correct. And this scene was shot on the salt flats of Bolivia. The scene sounded very reminiscent to the Battle of Hoth scene in The Empire Strikes Back. Those things chugging along out there in the distance are said to be the new guerrilla walkers known as AT-4Xs, accompanied by some standard AT-STs. Of course they're too far out for us to make out any detail, but I do like the Resistance using this smoke screen strategy here. After so many battles, warfare tactics would have to evolve, and it's nice to see that they have. Poor old Finn in some kind of chamber, but it's not a Bacta tank. He's obviously being healed here. You can see a pillow under his head and a neck brace. He does have a spinal injury, but maybe it's after a back-to-tank session or an entirely new technology. Next we have Poe and BB-8 running towards a hangar, but they're too late, so it looks like Poe will have to find himself a new ship. The Millennium Falcon takes out one TIE fighter while being pursued by two others, so we know Rey and Luke will eventually leave Ahch-To, or at least Rey will. I'm hoping Rey doesn't leave Luke behind on Ahch-To like Luke left Yoda behind on Dagobah in The Empire Strikes Back. Here we see Rey running with Luke's or Anakin's lightsaber, and it might also take place on Ahch-To, but I get the impression that those hills or mountains are quite far off in the distance, so the terrain would be too large for Skellig Island. Maybe another planet, or maybe part of her vision perhaps. Kylo Ren without his helmet, once again reaffirming those rumors. That scar looks like a little scratch compared to what a lightsaber should have done to his face, but maybe the First Order simply has awesome healing technologies like alien stem cells. This scene here is absolutely spectacular. That, my friends, I'm guessing is safe to say, was Luke's academy. So it happened while he was away. That must have been devastating for him. Would explain why he seems so tortured. All that effort to build it up and it goes up in smoke. Or goes up in Snoke. Captain Phasma with her posse. Did she have a part in the destruction of Luke's academy? Or is it just clever editing at work here? We're getting a major space battle between the Resistance and the First Order, which is good. I mean, it is Star Wars. Space battles are a must. And for me, the most impactful scene from the trailer.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
Luke is done with the Jedi, it seems. We have this interesting explanation from Daisy Ridley at Star Wars Celebration.
And what is very apparent from where we left off in The Force Awakens and where we begin with The Last Jedi is Rey has a certain expectation as to what she might be getting from Luke and what that might entail. And as a lot of people know, it's difficult when you meet your heroes because it might not be what you expect.
Is it?
Like rumors suggested, it looks like Luke is a broken man with some inner demons. If indeed Luke did find out during his search for the first Jedi Temple that it was all a lie or interpreted incorrectly, do we get to see Yoda's and Obi-Wan's reaction or explanation to this truth bomb? Yoda and Kenobi were basically the epitome of that doctrine. I love it. I think this direction opens up so many possibilities to explore. So why does Luke accept to train Rey then? Is he going to build something new? Neither Jedi or Sith. How cool would it be for Luke to be the founder of a new philosophy? He would be immortalized in the Star Wars universe, doing the character of Luke Skywalker the justice he deserves. And with this new knowledge, how powerful has Luke become? On the flip side, Snoke has his own interpretation of the dark side. So what's that all about? If it's not Jedi versus Sith, what has it become then? So I'll leave it there for now. I loved it. Not much given away, but a solid trailer has me excited to see more. What did you guys think? Anything you'd like to add? Do you think The Last Jedi is doing its own thing? Will we get a different story from the ones that have come before? Leave your thoughts down below, and as always, thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, sub, share and all that good stuff. And until next time, see yas!